Kingdom Men, a talk on finances. I'm reminded of this talk that I had with a friend. It was, I believe, around this time last year when we had this talk. And he was telling me that a man as a provider should always provide. And if and should a man lose his job due to illness, accident, or being laid off, he should try his utmost best to be back on his feet, perhaps a month to maximum 3 months. So I was listening to him and I'm like, okay, but now looking at the times we live in, what happens then if a man loses a job due to illness and it's not easy to find employment, more so for others, more so for some than others. And I also asked him a question like, what happens then now? I mean, we're talking about a husband here. If a husband has been working, taking care of his family, providing for his family, and then he perhaps suffers an illness, whether it be stroke or anything that causes him not to be able to return back to work, I asked him, does that mean that now he's less of a man? And then he said to me, what I'm saying is good in theory, but in reality, women expect a man to provide. And if a man does not quickly get to his feet, it's only a matter of time before a woman begins to disrespect him. And very soon he will feel undermined. So, for the sake of his ego, for the sake of his pride, for the sake of the marriage, for the sake of the family, he needs to quickly get on his feet. So it got me thinking. It got me thinking like, if we now I'm also of the belief that a man is a provider, but also understanding that we're living in times where women also work, so there is that partnership. It's not every woman that's called to be at home. Some women can be at home for a short period but would like to go back to work. It's not every woman that is called to be a homemaker. Some women can work part time, some can work from home, and others would just prefer to work full time. So I feel the financial burden is not as it used to be like in the past. Okay? So I asked him, I said, but now if we label being a man as being a provider, so when you lose a job for those 2 3 months, does that mean that now you fail to be a man? So if the roles of the man defines him as a man, when he cannot fulfill those roles, then he's no longer a man. I just felt like such beliefs needs to be challenged because a woman that loves her man will stand by his man. And I believe that a woman who's had her husband who's been there supporting her, helping her, raising the family, being a provider, and now to face some glitches, some temporary glitches, and some could be that the man can never work again. Then it is fair to look back and say, well, there was a time when this man took care of us. Now it's our turn to take care of him, and just to make the best of what we can as a family. So I just wanted to speak up for the women, for the Christian women, for the kingdom women, that it is true that as women we share a lot of opinions, a lot of outlook of life, but there are differences that are just too wide. Like, we understand that a man is a provider, but now when your husband can no longer be able to support you, he does not cease to be a husband, because a man who no longer works can be at home and be helping out with some work at home, and he is still the husband, he's still the head of the home. I assume it's a kind of relationship, or it's a kind of a marriage where everything was always talked over, where a budget, both partners sat down and they worked out a budget and stuff. So I assume that even if one person loses their income, they still come together and they draft a budget, and they're able to make the most and the best with whatever little money that they have. So I was sad to hear him say that, and I did not want to be too direct and ask him, like, is it what you really think your wife would do because this person is married? But the way the way he spoke it isn't like, yes, it's an obvious thing. That's just how it works in this life. So me challenging him, I could see it got him thinking that, perhaps even he was assuming things which are not true about his wife. Okay? It's true. Every woman wants a man who's doing his best. As much as women want to help, want to work, you want to know that your man is doing his best. And sometimes best cannot be measured in terms of in monetary value, because you can earn more than your husband, but it's about effort, it's about determination. If a person is a hard worker, you can see this person is a hard worker, and this person is doing their best and is not trying to leech off of you. So I felt like that's really sad, that a man should feel that they have to spend his life working, supporting a family, and one day when he's sick, when he cannot walk because he's sick, got laid off, or his business failed, or whatever reason that his income gets taken away, that he should feel that the role he had and the privileges that he had as a husband gets taken away. It's the same as having it's the same as being married as a woman and not being able to have children. I feel that the women who go through that do not want to be seen as less than, because there is more to her than just bringing babies into the world. So, the same way, there is more to a man than him bringing income home. Income is very important, okay? It costs. It costs to live. Just to breathe, it's money. So even a child is important, especially in a marriage. But we through love, we learn tolerance, we learn patience, and we learn to navigate our way through. So I just wanted to encourage the brothers that if you are a kingdom man and you're waiting for a kingdom wife, do not expect a kingdom wife to come with feminist agendas or the worldly way of thinking or of problem solving. Do you understand that, yes, women are the same in that women want to be loved, they want to be respected, they want attention, they want to be spoiled, but also understanding that there's a difference between worldly women and Christian women, and also understanding that even every woman is an individual, and you need to learn to love your woman the way she wants to be loved. Okay, so in terms of finances, like with everything we've had to go through, the recession, the 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 lockdown, and right now with more people being laid off, some could even say we are actually going through a depression. Some could say this is just the beginning of famine. So we have to be open minded and understand that women do not really put as much pressure on men like it used to be in the past, I could say, in our grandmother's time. Okay, in our grandmother's time, in our great grandmother's time, because most of us, our mothers worked, and them working like was a big difference in the home. So I just wanted to encourage kingdom men that perhaps you're looking forward to meeting your spouse, but your finances are not the way you want them to be. Keep trusting in the Lord and keep praying and keep doing your best, and understand that the woman that God has for you will love you, will respect you, and will submit to you as a kingdom woman, despite your despite your level of income, despite your income. Like she will respect you either way. She'll respect you either way. And let us not let things like money take away the joy and excitement of being reunited or united with the spouses that God has for us. And sometimes it is through the person coming into your life that doors begin to open. And sometimes it is you coming into this person's life that doors begins to open for her. And somehow those doors open for you too. Like like God is so creative. We cannot box God at all. So let us have that open mind and understand that God is much larger than we think. And we cannot go by our own thinking. So with finances, finances are important. Money is important. We need money. Bills needs to be paid. Bills are real, and they need to be paid. But let us not come to a point where we now worship money. Okay, let us not come to a point where the lack of money or not having enough money causes us to fear. And I know a lot of men would like to get married being at a certain level, having achieved a certain status, but like understand that your financial status is just where it is, and all you can do is just to work on it. And when it's time for you to be united or reunited with your person, you just need to square your shoulders and know that everything is in God's hand. After all, you can only do so much. You can only do so much. And the Bible says that he that finds a wife finds a good thing. I know of a lot of men whose finances were just in disarray until a woman came and there was some order and there was some progress. Sometimes a man does not see where he's going wrong. And it's vice versa too. It can also be the same also with a woman. So in terms of finances, like women understand that it's a lot on a man's shoulders, and women really do want to relieve the man of the financial burden. And also know that a woman that has a child has an even a greater desire to relieve her man of financial stress. The more children a woman has, the more she wants to work hard, the more she wants to relieve the stress, the financial stress off of her person, off of her man. So let the man be encouraged and be careful of just picking up ideas and thoughts and opinions that have been thrown out there and think that's how every woman thinks. It is not so. And there are a lot of women who are not even Christians who can whom I could say have the same belief as the Christian women. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.